What's going on, guys? CWG here. Welcome to episode 79 of the Vault Hunters SMP. Did you know Nexal's been a channel member for 379 days? Interesting. Let's go. A true OG of the crown crew. Liking that Echo Pod crown. Anyways, how's it going, guys? Our base is full of cake. Why is it full of cake? Because it was our birthday yesterday. Shout out to those of y'all who were able to make the birthday stream. It was a lot of fun. We ran a lot of vaults. As you can see, we got a lot of crates that we got to open. But we have all this cake we need to eat. Well, I guess we can't eat it because we're not hungry. Look, every time I try to eat the cake, it makes the candle blink. Interesting. Also, there's a shulker left here with some tropical stew and crab meat. I love crab meat. And yes, I did have crab for my birthday, and it was awesome. I put a picture of the crab in my Discord. You guys can go see it there. Now let's start off this episode by smelting some driftwood because I need more soul shards because there's a bit of lemon for sale. You see it? We just need 250 more shards and we can buy it. Nice. Also, I built a reactor plant off camera. No, seriously though, look. I went ahead and built in both steam boilers. Look at them. And if we follow the steam pipe into the engine room, you can see I've also built both turbines. And here we got our two turbine generators. These guys will go spinny spinny with the steam. You can see the steam comes in here. It's going to spin the turbine. It's going to generate power. Each of these turbines are able to make 1.17 million FE each. That's if they're at full capacity. Now, I'm not sure how much power we're exactly going to make. We're going to have to do some testing. Also, I set up some warp pads here so we can teleport back to the control room. Pretty useful. So we're going to do something kind of dangerous. We're going to start this reactor at just 1% of its available power. You can actually set the burn rate in here. So we're going to set it to 1% power. Now, very important, you should never start your reactor unless you have protection systems in place. I haven't built any reactor protection yet, so I do not recommend turning it on before you have that set up. But that's exactly what we're gonna do because what could go wrong, am I right? All right, so we're gonna turn it to 1% of its power. Activate. You can see the temperature going up to 218 degrees. That's in which water turns into steam. So the reactor is heating up the sodium. Oh, by the way, our sodium is completely full now. You'll love to see it. The hot sodium goes through this pipe into the boiler. You can see the little superheating elements in there. That is causing the steam to boil. As you can see, there's water in here. It is turning into steam. Cool. And what's interesting is all of the superheated sodium is going into this boiler and not the other one. See, it's not going into this guy at all. So what I assume will happen is once this guy gets completely saturated, it'll move on to the next one, or at least I hope that's what it's gonna do. But that's why we have to test things. All right, so anyways, this boiler is getting heated by those pipes. The steam is going through these separators. It's kind of hard to see, but there's actually steam in here. And the steam is getting transferred by this pipe back into the engine room. So let us follow the steam into the turbines and look at them go. Now, both turbines are actually getting steam. It is splitting evenly between the two. You can see this one's making 17,000 FE. This one's also making 17,000. So a total of 34,000 FE per tick, and the reactor's only at 1% power. Cool. So we have a quantum entangleporter here, which is basically like wireless power transfer, but mechanism. You can see it's set to CWG reactor, and then that connects all the way back to the battery. So if we go down to the battery compartment and we open this up, you can see we're making 45,000 FE per tick total, including our thermo generators. Nice, but the reactor is only at 1% of its power. And the reason I don't want to turn it up any higher than that is because, as you can see on the right hand side here, it is filling up with nuclear waste. So let's turn that off. We're gonna have to figure out a way to deal with our nuclear waste, because if that ends up filling up all the way to the top, it's gonna cause a reactor accident. Radiation's gonna go everywhere. Lots of bad things. Cool. So that's what we're gonna be working on this episode, setting up the nuclear waste, setting up reactor protection systems, and getting this guy running at 100% power. How exciting is that? But before we start any reactor shenanigans, stuffs, and things, let's open all of the crates that we got from our birthday live stream. And we're gonna have to slowly start eating these cakes, although I can't eat them. I'm not hungry enough. Also, look at this delicious crab meat. Oh man, I love crab. What's y'all's favorite food? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, I'm gonna empty my pouches here, and we're gonna open up all of those crates, and hopefully we get an artifact or something cool. Also, before we open these crates, let me show you guys a clip from the live stream in which we opened some hostile mystery eggs, and this happened. What do we get? Oh, we got another wither. Nice. We have like 3 withers now. What? No way! Chat! We got it! We got 2 of them!
What?
We got 2 Ravagers! What is this streamer luck? Well, chat, our saddle problems have been solved. Yeah, can you believe it, guys? 2 Ravagers. Yeah, saddles are no longer gonna be a problem. You'll love to see it. So without further ado, let's open some crates! Oh boy, that's a lot of stuff. And after all those crates, did we get an artifact? Moment of truth. Appears to be a negative. Big sad. But we did get a living KDplays. Actually, we got 3 living KDplays. Let's go. Got some black opal, a whole bunch of jewels I'm gonna have to go through, and a bunch of gear I'm gonna have to roll, 2 fundamental foci, some black chromatic steel, a relic that we could roll. Do we get a Cater fragment? Don't even really know what that means. And we get an ice, ooh, we get an ice theme one, nice, and a honey cave, cool. So give me a second to roll through the gear, go through all these jewels, and we'll be right back. Oh, and let me show you guys what we got inside of the pouches. We got 91 vault diamonds from that. Exactly what we're looking for, because we were completely out of vault diamonds during last episode, and 111 knowledge dust. Nice. So how much knowledge does that go up to? Also, we did a gamble of soul shards in the live stream, and we got a freaking knowledge star. Yeah, I'm not even joking. We got a knowledge star from gambling. Do we have enough to gamble? No. Actually, yeah, we do. Let's grab some soul shards out of here, do 1 quick gamble, see if we can get another knowledge star. No, but we do get a phoenix feather. Those are actually pretty valuable. Yeah, that costs like a full KDplays. So how much knowledge are we up to now? That's always the question people are wondering. We got 2 knowledge stars and enough to make, oh wow, 9 knowledge. So 11 total. Pretty good. What is the next mod we're gonna unlock, you might ask? Maybe dark utilities. We'll worry about that after we make the reactor stuffs and things. Then we're gonna figure out what mod we're gonna get next. So now let's do the fun part of grabbing all of this vault gear. Yep, every last piece, and roll it all at the same time. Do you think we're gonna unlock a new transmog? Let's see. Nope, no new transmog. Let's roll the other pieces real quick to see if we get a transmog. Nope. Well, I'm gonna sift through all this gear, and I'll be back in a sec. So, out of all that gear, we managed to get 2 pieces, epic or better. We got helmet and leggings. Helmet, it's gonna be really hard to beat our current helmet with 14 health. And as for pants, we might be able to get something better. I mean, I'm gonna try. Also, during the live stream, check out, we have a new sword now. This sword rolled a max plus 42 damage on the prefix, almost max damage on the implicit. The stun attack chance is lower at 15%, but the amount of damage this thing does is absolutely insane. It's called the Birthday Basher, because we got it on our birthday. You'll love to see it. Now, I'm going to roll through these 2 pieces of gear. I'll let you know if we end up getting anything good. And status update, I've been doing more mechanisming. And I went down another rabbit hole. Yeah, there's more and more rabbit holes. Right here is where the nuclear waste output's going to be. I've not connected it to this pipe yet. But if we head over here into Edgeroom Forward, is where all our radioactive waste barrels are going to be. Now, whenever radioactive waste goes inside these guys, it will slowly decay and become safe. So let's follow the pipe spaghetti. First, the radioactive waste goes underneath up this pipe into these machines over here. These machines will actually process the waste. Now, I'm not even going to bother explaining it because it'll just be easier to show you guys when it's operating. Now, when you're processing nuclear waste, there's 2 different ways you can do it. You could either turn it into plutonium or polonium. Now, I want to get both of these things. Yes, I'm greedy. So one of the ways is to run it through a centrifuge and then put it into this PRC, pressurized reaction chamber. Another way is to go through a solar neutron activator. Now the issue with this guy is you need an HDPE sheet. I completely forgot about that. In order to get HDPE, you have to get the pellets. In order to get the pellets, you have to combine oxygen ethylene. How do you get liquid ethylene? You got to put it into this thing. How do you get this thing? Yeah, it was a big rabbit hole for sure. I mean, Mechanism's full of rabbit holes, but it's fun. I enjoy them. So if we go down to machinery room now, You can see I made a little bit of an HDPE setup. I know, this is just looking like machine spaghetti. But down in this guy, we're making our hydrogen and oxygen. In this guy, we're combining hydrogen, water, and biofuel. So let's just grab some biofuel from the system, throw it in here. It gets processed into substrate. It also makes ethylene, which then goes into this machine. It turns the ethylene into liquid ethylene. Then the liquid ethylene comes into here, and then it combines with oxygen. Then you put in the substrate, and then you make the HDPE pellets. Yeah, I told you, it's a process, but I got it all built, so we're good. While making it as compact as possible. That's my challenge for this season. So now all we should have to do is grab our pellets, go back up into control, throw them in the enrichment chamber, and we get HDPE sheets. Nice. Oh, we're also making a bunch of clay balls earlier, apparently. Nice. And with the HDPE sheets, you could use those to make supercritical casings, reinforced elytras, but what we need is the solar neutron activator. Nice. All right, back into the engine room. I'm gonna have more like warp pads to get all over the frickin' ship. It's gonna be nice. And the neutron activator is gonna go right here. It doesn't even need power because it uses the power of the sun, which means we have to disconnect this pipe. Boom. And now all this thing should need is sunlight, which means we gotta go straight up from here, dig all the way to the surface. And I think we could put in like maybe signalium glass. That's some pretty cool looking glass. Now, will the light actually pass through this glass? I don't know. Let's test it out. So just to simplify things, I'm going to temporarily disconnect this waste pipe from the centrifuge because I want to see if this will work. So the waste should go into here, get turned into polonium. The polonium should then go into here, react with the fluorite dust and the water, and it should make plutonium pellets, I think? I don't know. Let's just connect it and see what happens. Dealing with radioactive waste is always scary because if you break any pipe, any machine with any waste or polonium in it, it will leak radiation everywhere. So you got to be very, very careful when doing this. So here we go. We're connected. I saw the waste travel through it. Let's see what's happening here. All right. I think that worked. Yeah, look at that. We got polonium. Okay, so by using the glass through the ceilings, it actually causes the neutron activator to work. Sweet. So we now have polonium. Now the polonium will not react until we get a full bucket in there. So let's go ahead and turn on the reactor. Even though I still haven't installed any reactor protection systems, it's fine. Oh, look, you can see the green particle effects of the radioactive waste coming in here. That's exciting. And we can see that our polonium is slowly going up. Let's see what happens when we get a full bucket. Here we go. We're about to get a full bucket of polonium here. Ah, it's processing. There we go. We get a polonium pellet and it ejected all the spent radioactive waste through this pipe into this waste barrel that then goes into this barrel matrix. I'll zoom in on the screen here, but you can see where it says spent nuclear waste inside each of these barrels, and you can actually see the waste decaying in real time. That's pretty cool. Yeah, with this many barrels, we should be able to get rid of the waste plenty quick enough, I think, hopefully. All right, so let's turn off the reactor. You may be asking, C-dubs, what the heck do you do with this polonium? It's used to make a lot of endgame mechanism stuff. Let's just say that. With SPS casings, we're going to be able to make a supercritical phase shifter to make antimatter. And we could use antimatter to do all kinds of things. You guys remember last season when we made this? Yeah, we're going to be making it again. Because guess what? Tridents, once you hit level 75, could start showing up in the vaulter. And we're going to need a source of tridents. And this should be the solution for it. Now, if we reconnect this waste pipe here and then send the waste to the left instead, we should be able to process it into plutonium. So let's turn the reactor back on. You can see the waste is going through a centrifuge. Pretty neat. And then the plutonium comes into here. I need to make sure I upgrade the centrifuge because if any of these machines ever get backed up, I mean any of them, it will cause a reactor accident. I can't stress to you guys how easy it is to accidentally cause an accident when messing around with these reactors. So just be safe and load them up with speed and energy upgrades. Now, while this is slowly filling up with plutonium, you're probably wondering why there's a comparator coming off of this waste barrel. Well, when I get into reactor protection, this is one of the things we need to protect against. Let's say all of these barrels for some reason fill up with waste and it backs up. It's going to back all the way up into this barrel here, so I could use a comparator to detect if this barrel is full. If this barrel is ever full, that means our entire system's backed up and we need to shut down the reactor before there's an accident. I told you guys I was going to make a reactor protection system. This is just one of the many things we need to protect against. And we're about to get 1,000 plutonium. Oh, it's processing. What are we going to get? We get a plutonium pellet. Nice. Plutonium is also used to make those SPS casings that we're going to need. You can also turn it back into reprocessed fissile fuel, which you can turn back into fuel for the reactor, which is pretty neat. Now I'm going to turn off this reactor once and for all until we have our reactor protection in place, because we're being so careless. But I mean, everything's working. Waste treatment's working, making power is working. How you doing, little turbines over there? Look, they're still spinning a little bit. How cute. So now I got to install the reactor protection system. It's going to take me a while, but it's definitely needed. And I'll be right back. Oh guys, real quick, in case y'all were curious, the whole having to pipe in fuel into a reactor and piping the waste out of the reactor, it's not actually how reactors work. What happens is you load the fuel in first, you run it for like 20 years. It's like a 20-year-long battery pretty much. Then once the fuel is spent, you pull it all out with a crane. There's no like pumping out fuel into radioactive waste barrels. Yeah, there's no waste barrels in a sub. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Just thought you guys should know how it actually works. But it would be kind of funny if we just had barrels of radioactive waste in engine room forward. I'd probably take one home. And we're back, and the reactor is now protected. Does it look protected? I mean, look at it. It looks a little bit different now. We're looking at the back of the reactor here. You remember how we had that radioactive waste barrel that I said we were using a comparator off of? I just moved that over here because I realized if these machines over here ever get backed up, like say it runs out of fluorite dust or something weird happens, the waste is going to go all the way back to the reactor and still cause an accident. So I moved the barrel right here, so that way if anything gets backed up in the waste treatment facility, it will fill up this barrel and it will issue a scram signal. Now right here is an analog lever. These things are so cool. You can like turn up and down the redstone signal. You can see that's a power 8. Now it's a power 11. Yeah, you could control a redstone signal with an analog lever. It's made with a Create mod. It's pretty cheap, I think. Yeah, it's just an andesite alloy. So basically what this does, it says, hey, if this barrel is halfway full, because it's a power of 8, that's like halfway, it will emit a signal to our logic. Okay, so what are these guys? These guys are pretty simple. Behind these are fission reactor logic adapters. If I right click it, you can see output signal when reactor reaches dangerous temperature. So if there's a high temperature condition in the reactor, which can cause a freaking meltdown, it will release a redstone signal to this. Now the guy below it, this is just an activation logic adapter. Whenever this receives the signal, it will turn the reactor on and off. Cool. Now let's go check out the logic. If we go up to engine room upper level, you can see I built some stuffs and things. Like I said in the last episode, this is going to be maneuvering. This is where you can control the reactor and switch it from automatic mode to manual mode. Remember, manual mode is dangerous. That's why a red light will come on when you switch it to manual. Because when you're in manual mode, there's no reactor protection, so extremely dangerous. Now, let us check out the logic itself. Now, I know it may look a bit confusing, but it's actually quite simple. As Mumbo would say, it's quite simple redstone, actually. So, let's start with here. This little bit of circuitry right here is pretty simple. It is a T flip-flop. Wait, what's a flip-flop? Like the things you wear on your shoes? No, but there's two pistons that will move a redstone block back and forth. Now, that is our beetroot witherbone signal, which you may remember if you paid close attention to the past few episodes, comes from our battery. And we're using more analog levers. Can you guess what this is used for? That's right, this comes straight from the battery and tells the flip-flop when the flippity-flappity. So, say our battery is low. That would cause this guy to activate, shifting the redstone block over. Then you can see there's repeaters that go through target blocks, and if the redstone signal makes it all the way to the end of this green light here, let me add a sign here. This will turn on the reactor. Here, I'll give you a little bit of a demonstration. So let's pretend the battery is low. It would fire this piston. The redstone signal goes through the target blocks. It goes into this light, as you can see, showing that the reactor is on. Now, do you believe me? Do you think the reactor is actually on? Well, let's go check it out. And yeah, as you can see, this redstone link is receiving a signal and the reactor is running. How cool is that? And then once the battery gets full, I have another analog lever here set up that will activate this piston, push the redstone block back over to this side, and will turn the reactor off. Now that's cool and all. We have a system that will automatically turn off and on whenever the battery's low or the battery's too high, but how does the reactor protection itself work? You can see each of these 3 target blocks have a piston associated to it. You can see that one's our high radioactive waste. This one's our high temperature, get it? Because it has a lava bucket, haha. And then that's our manual mode. So if we wanted to switch the reactor to manual mode, we flick this lever down and you can see the manual mode active light is now lit. This will turn the reactor off. So if we go into the reactor compartment, you can see it's off and we can now manually like turn it on, turn it off when we want to. Manual mode. And if we switch it back to automatic, the light goes off and the reactor should be back on. Yep, cool. Now I have set up the high temp and the high radioactive waste thing, so that way it will cause an alarm. It's pretty cool. I'll show you guys how it works real quick. So the reactor's running right now. Let us fake a signal like there's high radioactive waste. If you put the redstone torch here, it'll power that. Oh, you can hear the alarm. The reactor's already turned off. The alarm's so loud. Let's go back up to upper level. And as you can see, the piston is pushing this target block over there. Now, if we've removed the redstone torch, so let's pretend like the radioactive waste went away and it's ready to be started up again, the reactor doesn't just start up automatically. You actually have to go in here, press the alarm reset button, and then press the reset logic button, because this one doesn't have a sticky piston, so you gotta hit the thingy, boom, goes back. The whole purpose of this is if there's ever a condition where there's high temperature and high waste, I don't want the reactor starting back up on its own for obvious reasons. It means there's something wrong that I gotta fix. So it will stay in this condition until we reset the logic and turn off the alarm. Pretty fancy. So there we go. The whole reactor is now automated. It's fully protected, so there should be no meltdowns or crazy accidents in theory. In theory. Next thing I'm gonna have to do is start working this reactor up to full power and make sure that everything works. Right now we're only at 2% power, which is kind of terrifying to think about. I'll have to get code online to help me out, because I'm gonna need one guy watching the reactor at all times and the other guy testing out the other things, because remember, when it's in manual mode, there's no protection. You guys want to know a fun fact about reactors? You may be wondering why it's called scram to turn off the reactor. Like, what the heck does scram mean? It actually stands for Safety Cut Rope Axeman. Yeah, remember last episode how I said control rods are used to shut down the reactor? Those little rods that you can kind of see in there? Back in the 50s and 60s, when they were first designing nuclear reactors, they used to be like held up by a frickin' rope, and if there's an unsafe condition in the reactor, the Axeman would cut the rope, causing the rod to drop in. Yeah, sounds a bit sketchy, huh? Back in the early prototype reactor days, there was actually an accident which launched the rod out of the reactor and ended up pinning the guy to the roof of the facility. If you guys don't believe me, you can look up SL1 reactor accident. Someone literally got pinned to the roof with a control rod. Like, that's terrifying. Well, I'm gonna leave the reactor in manual mode, where I'm just gonna keep it off until I test the reactor at 100% power. Plus, we don't actually need the energy. We're making enough power from our thermogenerators that we don't need it yet. Not until we start making antimatter. Then we're gonna need a ton of power. So trust me, this power is gonna come in use eventually. Oh my gosh, the control room is a mess. There's cakes everywhere, shulker boxes everywhere. It's just a disaster. Alright, I think it's about time we get into the vault. Enough reactor shenanigans. We need wooden chest scrolls and to kill vault fighters. Sounds like something we can do. Let's go ahead and toss a crystal in here. Oh, if you want an update on our favors, we're up to 13 Thanos favor now. Yeah, pretty good. If we complete this vault, we'll get another Valara favor, so we're definitely going to want to do that. Oh, I didn't even see what was in the vaulter, but it's already completed. Let's go. Now, I have built a temporary vault portal inside of the captain's quarters. You want to know something exciting? Once we're finally done with all the reactor stuff and things, we can get to decorating and making this sub look like an actual sub inside. I know. People have left comments like we should add like pipes and stuff going through the rooms. Just decorative pipes, which I completely agree with. I'm probably going to use like create pipes. But trust me, it's going to be a lot of work, and it's on the plate of stuff to do. Hunt the Guardian's Vault with some bonus gilded. Nice. And we get 1% max health. And remember, that's a visual bug. It's actually 7% max health, which gives us like 2 extra hearts. Nice. Look at all that health. Now, I do want to complete this vault so we get the reputation point, so I'm going to focus on finding the obeli first, and then we can start working on our bounties. Omega. Ooh, crab. I ate you yesterday, but I'm down for some more crab. All right, we got our first Oblite. This is a good chance to try out our new sword. How much damage does it do? Hoo-yah! Oh, dude, it's pretty good. It's definitely doing the damage. You'll love to see it. Nice. You don't stand a chance, you pigmen. Die. One Oblite down. Look, we found another one. This time it's gonna be 8. It's gonna be a bit harder, but we can pretty much two-shot all these crossbow boys. Get over here. Die. I did it, guys. I killed them. Are you proud of me? Let me know in the comments. Oh, look, there's another one in the next room. We're nailing it. Boop. Hi, dude. You know what? I'm not even gonna go for the crossbows first. I'm just so strong, I'm gonna do it in reverse order. Just to flex on these kids. Yeah, how's it feel? You wanna get Nova'd? I feel like the more we level up, the easier the Guardians are getting, which is very good. That's what you want to see. We got a Thanos altar. Nice, with our plus 20% affinity. Yeah, we should get a favor, no problem. That's why we have so much Thanos favor. We're gonna get... Oh my goodness. I am so excited to see what levels we're gonna be up to by the end of the season. Whee! Splash. Grab! Omega. Daytime village room. That means there's living chests to be found. I always need more knowledge. Now, we only have 16 minutes, so we do have to find 2 more Obli, so I'm gonna try to speed run this. Grab the livings and run! Ignore the giant slime in the sky. Omega. Alright, we got most of the livings. Let's get out of here and find those last 2 Obli. Let's fight some Guardians. Bring it, boys! Oh, yeah. Give me all that damage. Take out those crossbows. Easy peasy. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Oh, and there's one in the next room. How convenient. I guess I'll loot the room and see if we can get any more Vault Fighters and wooden chest scrolls. Those wooden chest scrolls are harder to find than I initially thought they would be. Also, what's cool about our new high damage sword is it's good enough to one-shot tier 3 drowns. See? All tier 3 mobs go bye-bye. Oh man, this sword is so good, especially paired with our Max Nova. You'll love to see it. Alright, let's take on these final Guardians. 7 minutes left, wasting a little bit of time, but it's fine. It's fine. Oh my gosh, there's so many crossbow guys. I got a good Nova off on them, but dang! They should all be one shot now. Yeah. Let's finish them. Yeah, you'll love to see it. 19,000 XP. Nice, we're only like 1 or 2 vaults away from level 71. The leveling up grind continues. We did not manage to finish a bounty, sadly, but what do we get in our boss crate? Pop it! We get some gear and some jewels that suck. Okay. At least we get to add something to our junk whitelist. Look, we're up to 495 items. Almost 500 now. Wow, those vines just keep growing, huh? And with that, it's Meme of the Daytime. Today's meme comes from Slime from the Discord. Everywhere I go, I see his face. Make sure you're subscribed. I'll catch you guys in the next one. CWG, ow.